Hello, and welcome to page 40 of volume 2 of my graphic novel comic strips titled Bound Earth. Thank you very much for watching, and I guess I'll start talking, and we'll go from there. This page is the payoff of a 2-page joke. With the last one, we talked about the frustrations of dealing with inconsiderate people and how you should adjust your own thinking to compensate for the fact that a lot of times other people in life won't be considerate of you. And it's not something that you should expect or just take, but maybe not responding in the same forceful manner that the robot was going to engage in. This page pays off that confrontation, and I think it's a humorous thing. I think the fact that we don't get to see this conflict on the page, we get to see the results of the conflict on the page. I think that adds to the humor. I think that it goes from being an action and display of aggression. It goes from that to being humorous because you see how the robot walks back into the frame, and it's just, I laughed when I drew it. It was fun. This first panel is by far one of my favorite ones in the whole story. There are just a few, maybe 10 pages of this comic that just jump out at me as being an absolute joy to draw, just in and of itself, not just with the storytelling. The storytelling necessitates hundreds, if not thousands, of panels. But every once in a while, one jumps out at me as just a piece of art that I wouldn't mind having as its own thing hanging on the wall. That's kind of, I guess that's the illustration, of what I want to get at with today's message to you for the future. As you know, I do the voiceovers for kids and grandkids, just in case something happens to me and I'm not there. That way they have my voice and they have my advice for the future. It's kind of narcissistic. It's kind of just prepping for the inevitabilities of life. There are some bright spots in life, and they just slide in with all the normal everyday stuff, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a whole day. It could be a few minutes. It could be a moment that stands out and makes everything seem brighter. It's just like the panel, like the first panel that turns into a real work of art. There are moments in life that just make everything else worth doing and worth going on and worth really enjoying. A friend of mine who I met in college and then over time through social media have developed a better relationship with, I guess, had a medical emergency with a family member and then got tests back saying that everything was fine. And it's gotta be a huge relief and a really happy, special moment. It stands out and it makes life great. And that's what that panel is, comparatively. And you need to take those moments and you need to enjoy them for all that they are and not just gloss over them so that you can get to the next moment. The rest of the page, humorous. It's fun. Some of it's perfunctory. It gets you to the next moments. It helps move the story along. And a lot of life is like that. You're just going to the next thing and moving on and just doing the thing every day. And that's okay. A lot of life is like that. Even Dr. Seuss said it. As weird and as fun as we want life to be, a lot of it is just normal, boring stuff and routine. But those moments, and they bring the excitement back. They bring the joy back. And you should love those moments. And they're the absolute best when you don't search for them. When they just happen. The off-panel violence and then the humorous results of it, where the robot thought he was going to be the aggressor, that's funny to me. When somebody thinks they're going to be the one to dominate the situation, and then they get basically showed who's boss. Absolutely funny. 2-page build-up for this joke. Totally worth it. It adds so much to the overall story. You realize that the caveman is actually pretty strong and capable of handling himself, and that the robots still have no idea what they're doing. Like, he's incapable of actually following through on violence. And so it makes for a very humorous result to what could have been a very violent situation. I've watched this playthrough about 3 times, and I've really enjoyed watching the inking of this page. It's so much fun, those first 2 panels. And then seeing the punchline at the end. Well, we're at about 7.5 minutes into this, and I'm just about out of time to talk, so I need to let you all know that if you're watching this on youtube.com/dreamofart, the number 1, you can also support this stuff on patreon.com/Alan Dunlap, and all the proceeds go towards making art, buying supplies, and paper, pens, pencils, things like that, so that I can continue on finishing this story and making more. In real time, I'm on page, I believe, 20. I have finished page 20 of volume 3, so I'm about 1/3 of the way through the last book. I'll need 45 to 50 more pages, and then I'll be done. This last one has a post-credit scene, for lack of a better thing to call it, to kind of tie up the end of the story and maybe leave it a little bit open in case I want to come back to these guys later. You can catch me on Instagram at Dunlap_Alan. And I just wanted to thank you for watching and listening. And to my kids and grandkids in the future, I hope this helps. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And I hope you have a good week. And I'll post again next week. Alright, have fun, guys.